Hi guys, hope you're well. I thought while I've got my table up, I'll finish off doing some videos that these projects I had. This one probably been finished probably about a month or so. You probably remember my last video. I bought the SEMTO as an engine for this because the original Toyota engine, I had so much trouble with that. I mean, I still don't understand why it doesn't run. I mean, you turn it over, the compression feels okay and everything, but it just will not run. It just runs wet on one cylinder, two cylinders now and again. And I had it apart so many times, like I said before, and got absolutely nowhere with it. So I got sort of frustrated and I've given up with it. But the little SEMTO engine, it had, a lot of good reviews on it. So I thought, well, this poor old truck was sitting in a pile of bits, sort of, I've given up with it, getting nowhere with it. And I thought, it's a shame, because there was so much work in this truck, with 2 speed, neutral, reverse, 2 speed, disc brake, old shocks, leaf springs. And to be honest with you now, there's not hardly a bit of plastic on it because the nitro has absolutely sort of killed all the plastic. The only thing I think I've got left on there is the differential casings or the axles, and that seems to be a different plastic, but everything else, like on here, I've had to make a new complete steering assembly. Had to move a lot of stuff around to fit this engine because it's got like a pump carb on it. Bit strange because you can screw this needle light in or out and it doesn't seem to make a lot of difference, but it likes to have a pressure feed off the into the tank, off the exhaust. But when I used to run it, it used to be really noisy. I mean, it's got twin pipes coming all the way down and that. But it was probably a year ago I decided to make I looked at YouTube on like real silencers and how they were made, but didn't lose too much power, so I made one up myself. I'll show you a bit later, but I still think it's a little bit restrictive, but it is what it is on there. It sounds quite quiet, you can run it around the garden. It's not got to be mentally fast. I have taken it over a car park and it changes gear beautiful, and it's been like okay. But then the second time I went to run it, the engine wouldn't run properly and I couldn't start it. I had loads of problems with it. So I got rid of the whole starting setup on it, and I've simplified it a little bit. And like I said in my RB7 video, I've got the not the wall starter, but I've got one of their ignition units, which is much more simple than what I had on there before. I've got a relay on there, and that's about it. That supplies the glow. I've got a 7.2 battery on the back, which is this one, and I've got a 3 cell for the starter. So I just see if it's going to start. I don't want my tea over there, so we'll see if we'll have a run. I don't suppose it'll start now, but anyway, I'll switch it on. Right, what have we got? Let it bind. Right, we've got steering. I've got neutral there, I've got forward, backwards, we've got the 2 speed, I've got the brake linked up with the throttle, so we've got a brake on there, it sort of pushes, works well. Let's press the button and see. There you go. Well, I'm just going to open my garage door a bit because I can't see very well. Hang on. Oh. No smelling nitro in the morning. It's not as nice as the caster we used to run back in the day. But there you go. What a difference, eh? Starts up straight away, ticks over lovely. Don't make a mess out of the engine. It all keeps dry. Starter works very well. Thing with the brushless motors on your starters, that you're going sort of, you can't ramp it up on the starter, so you're going from like nothing to full bore, and it makes the starter kind of cog a little bit. I think you saw that when it started up. But if you try and use one of their, this is what they supply now with all their engines, and they're huge. It's a brush motor, and it don't last 5 minutes, you know, they just burn out. And the other thing, like I said to you before, I bought this engine, just get it off the stand. I bought this engine because, let's shut my door now. I bought this engine because, looking at the dimensions of it, I thought it was going to fit straight in, and it did. I had to move a couple of servos around on it, but everything kind of fitted okay. Position of the holes for the engine mounts was like exactly the same. I mean, you can see, yeah, that, you know, they're almost, you know, identical engines really, but you know, this one don't work and this one does. So I think I was probably a really early bird with this engine. You know, I run their singles for a while and I got this at fair price, and it just never run. It just, right from day one. And I've had it apart so many times, I can't find what's wrong with it. But anyway, that's the end of that. But like I say, back to the starter. I mean, I've got a little tiny brushless one in there. It's got to do some work. I mean, there is no way I could get that in there. You know, it's just useless trying. So I made up another bracket to go on there. I made it so I can tension it, it's elongated, because I wanted to keep these two pipes. I mean, there's a lot of work in them. It's fairly thick wool tube, but you know, you have like 3 meters of tube, and you end up with nothing left, and you might have like 2 halves of a bend, because you waste so much more, you know, than you can actually use. But you know, they come out nice, and I don't really want to change it. They do like a single pipe for it. You know, I don't think these are too restrictive, but maybe the silence is, I don't know. But I need to take it out and give it a run and lean it out, and you know, still running in supposedly. And these engines do get better, because my L400 was terrible when I first had it, and it's come a long way, you know. So in here now, I've got the radio in here. I've got the receiver, I've got the relay, I've got the ESC for the starter, and I've got the heater for the globes in there. So it's all in that little box. You know, I'm not saying it's easy, it's a tight fit. I've had to cut a little piece out the side here to get the relay to fit out there, but you know, I've got like a little electronic switch. If I switch it on, I don't know if you can see it, yeah. I hope you can see in there a light flashing. When you, I won't start it again. But that light, that is a little electronic switch. And what that does is that when you go to the start motor, that will trigger the relay, which will give the ESC the power to fire it up. Sort of, it's not that complicated, but it's not like the MRB one. It comes with like a BEC on it as well, so you can do away with the other battery and the BEC and everything. It's so simple. One battery supplies a lot. But for the glow, it'll only run on a 7.4 battery. So, you know, it works well. It's a lot neater than it was before. I need a strap to hold the batteries in, but, you know, I'm happy with that, and it drove so nice when I ran it last time. You know, it's not a bad top speed. Acceleration's alright, gear change is lovely. You know, it's all you want. This is all I wanted out of this truck, and it's taken me such a long time to sort it, you know. But it's nice having like the nitro on it as well. So you know, that is a Toyota QRC, I think it was, gearbox on that. You know, you can just run that smooth as you like. I've got a big gear on there which goes on top of the, let's take the batteries out because they're falling around, and I can show you the underneath a bit better. So I'll take these out. So we've got, that is the Toyota, you know, quick change or what they call it, a gearbox. Very neat little idea, and you can have on your toggle switch. So on here you can have what I've got on this is you can have reverse, neutral, and forward. And it's nice how it's sitting there in neutral, just ticking over, then you know, whack it in first, in forward, and off you go, or backwards. You know, you can have it in a garden. It's not that noisy. You can see this exhaust system that I made that comes all the way down here. I didn't want to scrap it. They do like a 2-into-1, but that took me, you know, that was a proper mission, that was. But like I'm saying to you, I mean, I've got everything. There's not one plastic brace on here. You know, this front's all made out of alley, exhaust, everything. Now, this is the silencer. If you can see this, that's getting a bit. This silencer, what I've made here, I made it out of copper so I could solder it. It's got, the pipes go in there, and then you've got little pipes coming in that way, and that way, and in that way. And they're all perforated. I think I like to drill, forget how many holes, a 1mm drill. I drilled loads of little 1mm holes in brass tubes in there, and I soldered it all up. And it's taken that bark off it. You know, it sounds nice, but I'm not sure if it's taken a little bit of the performance off. But this car is not all about performance. I mean, it's probably going to be a good climber. It's, you know, very low geared. Transmission, you know, it's lovely. It's all standard Tamiya in there. I think these are Tamiya. I can't remember now. It's a long time ago when I built this car. But the other thing I've actually done is I've changed the suspension. I've actually moved these up to make the truck a little bit lower. It's got a nice stance on it now. I've kept the back one where it is, so the truck is kind of sitting down at the front, you know, or like that, whatever you like. So it's sitting down like that, so it makes it quite nice. I've got some towing on the rear wheels, which helps. I don't know if you can see it there, maybe. You can tow in the rear wheels, just to make it a little bit more stable. Because as you know, with leaf springs, they're a bit like a skateboard. You know, got them under their own sometimes. They don't like going straight. But this one, it goes white. You have to be a little bit careful to don't, you know, turn it too tight, or it should be over. But I moved them shackles there, and I had 4 of these. These are the standard shocks, and I put them on the front, and it was really bouncy. But so I put these old man ones back on it, and it's not bad for a leaf sprung truck. But the rear ones sort of, you know, there's no damping with these, so I'm going to try and get another pair. I mean, they're stupid money, you know, like £40 a pair, and they're not well made. But it's got a nice, you know, it don't jump up in the air like the back does. So this is how far we've got with this truck now. I think it's going to be quite reliable. I mean, yesterday I noticed these servo mounts that go across here, they were normally plastic, and where the screws go through, they were like self-tapping, and they just split all the way through. So I think that was the last bit of plastic that I have replaced. We've got like the exhaust under this carbon block here, and I put the batteries on top. And the thing is now, I used to have an ESC underneath there that run the motor, for, you know, the starter motor and all that. But now, because I've got the new unit, it's totally nice and clear underneath, so it's complete. There's no wires touching it. I had quite a few burnt wires when I stripped it down. We've got this is, I think, a Pure 10 Spider or something. It's a temp scale 2-speed gearbox. That runs off the clutch bell. It comes up there, runs through this gear. It makes it really easy. You can change gears, you know. I've been messing about with the gearing, changing it, you know, and stuff like that. But this is kind of where I am at the moment. And that goes down to a big gear that goes into the forward and reverse and the neutral. You can see the gears in there. Lovely little setup they are. Yeah, so it's got a temp 2-speed, which is okay. It's got metal gears on it and stuff like that. You know, I'm really pleased with it now. I've put like heavy duty track wood ends on it, alley ones, and it's a nice little thing, you know. And the track, you know, it's lovely and free. All works nice. It's not leaking fuel everywhere. There's a little bit comes out of this rear bearing for some reason. But I'd say to anyone who has had a lot of trouble with the L200, this engine, you know, you can get these at a really good price. And whether they're as powerful as that, I don't know, because I never really had mine going. You know, you've got all the Agroa twin carbs. The other one, you know, you just tune it. You've got a needle at the bottom, main needle at the top, which doesn't really seem to do a lot. But I need to take it out and give it a little bit more running. I've also made, on the front here, I made the spring, you can see it better now, in here, what holds the spring on, spring hangers. I've actually made them with some caster on them. So I've actually machined them at an angle, so we've got some caster on the front, which helps it steer, you know, a lot more forgiving. You know, the suspension's quite good. So it is a leaf sprung truck, and that's, you know, a little bit bouncy, but it's quite a realistic thing, and, you know, I'm really pleased with it. Now to the body. I think you've seen the body. I better put that in gear in case it rolls off a table, which is done before. Right, now this is the body. It's a proper Tamiya one. I had it painted in 2-pack. It's got some bubbles coming on it now and things, but, you know, it don't look bad. I've got a metal grille on the front, but again, the fuel inside on the bare plastic seems to be creating a lot of problems. It's kind of the stress points here, because I had to make up my own hinges. You can see the hinges there. They sort of like pull forward as you open it, and they're spring loaded. Now on this as well, which I've had before, I have another receiver in the body shell. So I've got nothing attached to the body for the lights and stuff like that. So let's just see, I'll switch it on and see what we've got with the light situation. Alright, let's turn the camera down a little bit. Okay, we've got headlights on. Well, it's full lights. We've got the little orange ones on the side. We've got the ones on the back. You can see them ones on the back. We've got indicators. They're not very bright. I think I might have gone over the top with the clear orange. But that one's brighter for some reason. But, you know, nice. Rear lights. Rear lights, I've got brake lights. When you go in reverse, you've got reverse lights. Now these look really good. When you drive away from yourself and you brake, them lights come on. It's like really cool. Indicators on the back. And that works off another, I think I've got a 4-channel receiver in there. Makes the body quite heavy. There's a lot of stuff in there. There's a light unit, I know it's a bit like spaghetti junction. There's a light unit in there, a receiver. They've got the little nickel metal hydride that plugs it all, and you can see the amount of wiring that's in those lights. You know, patience is a virtue, so they say. Yeah, that's just that's about as tidy as I can get it. As long as nothing touches the mechanics of the truck, and you know, it's like I can take the body on and off. I don't have to disconnect a wire and whatever like that, you know, because the body's like screwed on. So it's only 2 screws on the back of it through here. 2 screws, plate goes through there. It's not too much of a problem. And I've got another 2 screws to go through there. But what I've done is this. Let's bring the car back. What I've done, this is the filler. So once you put the body on, you thread that through, and it comes up that hole there. Where are we? That's it. It comes up there where the roll bar used to be. So you can fill it up while the body's on. So you know, it should be that once the body's on, it should be able to stay on for some time. But you know what these things are like. You're always fiddling around with them. But that's where we are now with this. I believe this project is finished. It runs absolutely lovely. Crisp gear change like I always like. Engine starts first touch of the button. It's pretty dry, not too oily. And it just needs plenty of running really. And they get better and better, these engines, you know. But I'm going to sign out now, guys. I've got another video I might be able to do. I'm not sure yet. But I'm trying to get up so far behind me with all these. I've not done a video for so long. So I like this truck, you know. It's been off and on the back burner and all that kind of thing. And, you know, I'm pleased with it now. So I'll see you in the next one, guys. Who knows what it'll be? I don't know. And that's it.